So we are back with another part of programmatic advertising question series. In this series we will discuss 16 another important programmatic advertising questions which are of basic level, and generally in these kind of questions the process of ad serving has been more emphasized and focused. So let's start with the first question. This is a basic question, that is, what is an ad request? So ad request is sent by client side code such as GPT on a web page. Like GPT is the Google publisher tag which is sends the ad request on client side to an ad server. An ad request typically is transmitted to the server in the form of an HTTP or HTTPS request. The request is the first step of an ad serving. So let's have a figurative explanation of these ad serving, because I have seen that generally theoretical things do matter, but there is an urgent need of practical demonstration also of what I am teaching here, or what I am imparting knowledge here. So as you can see that this is a web server. User visits a website to, and this is the user, this is one of the website. User visits the website, browser sends a request. Suppose he is visiting a website, suppose he is opening a Chrome browser, and after visiting the browser, once he opens the browser on publisher's web server, this is the web server, an ad request is sent. One ad tag code is already there in the website, so through which that ad tag is fired, an ad request is sent to the web server to load the contents of the page. In the second process, the publisher's web server returns the HTML and starts rendering the page content. The basic page content which is there on web server is delivered through the HTML. And in the third process, the publisher's ad server receives an ad request via earlier implementation ad placement codes to fill the available ad slots. So here there are two servers. One server is the web server, which is directly related to the website content, so which is getting delivered, and simultaneously the publisher's ad server is also getting requests for delivering the ad through the code which is placed on the publisher's website, and that the publisher's ad server receives an ad request via earlier implemented ad placement codes to fill the available ad slot. So based on the information about the user, the publisher ad server selects an ad campaign. The publisher's ad server sends the ad code, either a JavaScript or HTML, to the website, and the ad is downloaded and shown to the user. This is the basic figurative explanation of how an ad serving works. So second question is, what does the house line item serve? When does the house line item serve? So house line items only serve when no remnant line items like network, bulk, price parity, ad exchange, or open bidding demand are available to serve. That is, house line items are treated as if they have a $0 rate and do not compete on price via dynamic ad allocation. So this is figurative explanation of line item serving. So you can see the top priority is sponsorship, which is guaranteed line item. Like if a sponsorship line item is serving, no other ads will serve, only a sponsorship line item will serve on that particular ad inventory where a sponsorship line item is active. Second is standard. The impressions are guaranteed, but they can be stopped if there is a sponsor line item conflicting with the standard line item on a particular ad inventory. Third is network priority. So network priority is also guaranteed. So the ad network giving the highest value, highest bid of the ad locations, their ad runs. Bulk priorities generally run when bulk orders are available, and price priorities generally run on the basis of the highest price quoted. Ad exchange is basically the exchange bidding which happens on real-time bidding, which happens where the Google Ad Exchange along with other ad networks like Pubmatic, Facebook, uh, Index Exchange, InMobi compete for a particular ad inventory, and those who bid the highest, their ad runs. And house is basically the backfill. Backfill means if there are no ads available on these all line item priorities, sponsorship, standard, network, bulk, price priority, ad exchange, then house items will run, which are generally a backfill to generally minimize the unfilled impressions which are generally built under Google Ad Manager. So what do you mean by remnant line items? So it refers collectively to the line items most commonly used to fill your site's unsold inventory. Remnant line item types include network, bulk, price parity, and can be used for various non-guaranteed transactions. They can satisfy an ad request when there are no guaranteed campaigns eligible to serve. So what do you mean by remnant inventory? A phrase sometimes used to describe ad space inventory that you were unable to sell via guaranteed line items and thus was sold via either non-guaranteed items or via ad exchange or AdSense line items, which makes inventory available to auctions. Guaranteed line items considered more desirable channels to sell inventory as they generally generate more revenue. Ad space inventory can be thought of as neither remnant nor non-remnant. However, as this designation depends on what was eligible to serve to that inventory for any given ad request. Any inventory may be available to guaranteed line items, non-guaranteed line items, or to ad exchange or AdSense line items, depending on how your ad manager network is set up. Please tell the ad selection process stepwise. So ad selection process is an ad request passes information to the ad server. A list of matching line items and yield group is created. The best line item is selected, the best creative is selected, and the creative is served. This is a figurative explanation. This user requests an ad which is done through the browser, and browser displays the contents in HTML through the web server, and through the ad server the ad is displayed simultaneously. This is the ad server. Second process is ad server. Third is the line item A, line item B, line item C are available. These are the list of candidate line items. Ad server gathers information about user through the non-personal identifiable parameters, generally which is done through cookies currently. And fourth, the line item B is the selected for running the ads. So it is the best line item for the user, and then the selection of best creative for the user as per the user behavior criteria, and then there is ad serving on the site. So what do you mean by ad serving? The process by which ad manager chooses the best ads to serve to an ad request and then returns the corresponding creative code. Elaborate the process of how an ad request is passed on to the ad server. So ad requests are triggered by resources, for example JavaScript libraries like GPT, Google Publisher tag on web pages, or application code on a mobile app, rendered by a user's web browser or mobile device, and they initiate an HTTP request to an ad server. Information about the user and the device is passed within the request to ad manager, allowing ad manager to match the right ad with the right user. 5 crucial pieces of data are transmitted in the ad request: HTTP header, IP address, user identifier containing no personally identifiable information, which could be one of the following: resettable mobile device advertising ID for in-app ad requests, example ad ID for Android, IDFA for iOS, other identifiers for devices such as Roku, PPID for publishers that have it set in their ad request, double-click cookies for desktop and mobile browsers, the custom targeting criteria set by the publisher in the ad manager ad tags, a correlator value shared between ad request and the same page. So summarize the various data types used via various segments. So this is the summary of the data types table. So data which is HTTP header, so provides information on browser type, operating system, date and time. IP address geographic provides information about geographical location of the user. Internet related targeting information like user domain. User identifier is frequency capping, creative rotation, and audience list membership. Ad manager ad tags provide ad unit and ad size, which creative type the ad unit can receive. A custom targeting parameters, key values, co-reader values, which ad requests belong to the same page view used for advanced serving functionalities like road blocking. What do you mean by inventory matching? Is it available on GAM 360? About inventory matching. The ad server considers all line items, yield groups targeting a piece of inventory anywhere between the ad unit and the network level. Ad unit hierarchy is available in Google Ad Manager 360 only. So this allows the creation of run of site and run of network ads without the need to explicitly target every ad unit in the tree. For example, a line item that's run of network and targeted to sports or baseball could serve to attack with a first level ad unit called sports and a second level ad unit called baseball. So this is known as inventory matching, and it is very much available on GAM 360. What is an ad ID? So mobile advertising ID for Android. Mobile advertising IDs allow for developers and marketers to track activity for advertising purposes. What are device identifiers? So device identifiers for mobile phones, video game consoles, and over-the-top streaming devices can be used to enhance ad serving by allowing developers and marketers to target based on user activities. In non-browser environment where there are no cookies, they also allow buyers to apply critical features that facilitate additional demand, such as frequency capping. This type of user targeting is similar to how cookies can be used with web browsers. Device identifiers are provided by the device operating system and can be reset by the user. The value of the identifiers are a string and contain 36 characters, 32 alphanumeric characters and 4 hyphens. The characters are grouped in the form 8, 4, 4, 4, 12. You can use the device ID macro to propagate the identifier to a third-party ad network. How a list of matching line items and yield group is created. So once the ad server gathers the relevant information for the ad request, it generates a list of all line items and yield groups that match a subset of the targeting criteria of the request. For example, if the request comes from a man in California using Linux, a line item or a yield group targeting men in California is on the list. A line item or yield group targeting men in California on Windows is not on the list. A line item or yield group targeting men in Vermont is not on the list. What is an AMP? AMP stands for Accelerated Mobile Pages. Accelerated Mobile Pages is an open source project that aims to make the mobile web better by providing a framework for building content pages that consistently load fast. What is AMPHTML ads? So AMPHTML ads load faster than standard ads and can be delivered anywhere on the web, not just on AMP pages. This applies AMP's core philosophy of reliable, fast performance and great user experience to ads. So this is a kind of AMP page with AMP HTML ad. This is AMP HTML code, and then this is the request made to the ad server via AMP HTML code. The request goes to the ad server, and then the implementation response is very fast, and the validation is very fast. The creative in HTML is fetched very fast. This is the creative, and then the ads are served, and this is the ad which is shown. So what is an aspect ratio in terms of image or creative? So aspect ratio is the ratio of width to height for a video and image. So that's all for today. Hoping you have a good weekend ahead. Enjoy the weekend and keep learning and keep enjoying new things in programmatic advertising and ad tech and technical world. The world is rapidly changing, so you need to buckle up and keep updating yourself with the latest technological trends so that you don't become obsolete and you always remain pertinent as an employee and as a human being also. Thank you.